Hey team, going to talk a little bit today about overwhelm in business. So overwhelm typically occurs when we've just got either too much work on or we don't have the correct systems and procedures in our business to make sure that everything flows smoothly. So when we're talking about overwhelm, most people describe it as a bit of a weight on their shoulders. It causes significant stress. Causes quite often financial underperformance because you're running around grabbing at too many things at once. The other thing that it tends to cause is lack of focus. So you tend to be grabbing at different things over time and concentrating on the wrong things in your business. You're missing out on opportunities and you're never ever really getting anywhere. So it's a bit like the hamster wheel of business with overwhelm. Now, overwhelm typically brings in three different areas of the business. It brings in typically managing your workflow and the jobs that come in. It's managing yourself and also then having some sort of level of accountability within the business. And we're going to go over in a summary view each of those at the moment, and then we'll delve a little bit deeper in some future videos about each one of those specifically. So if we're to look at workflow within your business, there's a couple of interesting things happen in the workflow space. One is organisation of the jobs and how they're coming in and also how they're going out and everything that happens in between. So how do you generate your leads? Once you generate your leads, how do you capture those to ensure that they're all followed through? And then once you're following it through and you're getting quotes done, how are you quoting? If you are even quoting, if you're in a retail business, then it's probably a little bit different. But again, in the retail area, it's probably on the floor sales that you're wanting to look at, and the way that you're bringing customers through and ensuring that once you get them to the door, you're actually getting them to buy. So there's a lot of these things fit within that sales management workflow space that can cause a lot of overwhelm because you're typically not doing those well, which then means that you're continually trying to improve and you're trying different things and you just get lost. Because of the overwhelm, you completely get lost within your business. The next part that I mentioned was in and around organising you. And that comes down to time management. Now, time management is a lot more than filling in a gratefulness diary. It's a lot more than simply just keeping a bit of a timer or just getting more efficient as such. So there's some really key ways that you need to build in and around time management to deal with some of that stuff. I've got another really good video on distractions. So if you want to have a bit of a look at that distraction video, feel free to comment below and I can get a copy of that to you. So in terms of organising yourself, there's a couple of key things that you need to look at. First thing that you need to look at is you need to look at the role that you're actually doing at the moment. Okay, what is your ideal role? What should you be doing? And then start looking at what you are doing. And just by comparing the two of those will give you a significant impact into your world. There's a whole lot more that needs to be dealt with there, but that's the starting point. So start there and we'll start to find some low-hanging fruit to get you a little bit more organised and a little bit more time focus. Accountability is another big one. So typically when nobody's holding you accountable, you can do whatever you like. You're the business owner, nobody's going to tell you what to do. So when it comes to accountability, you really need to have a third party hold you accountable. And that third party's not there to just whack a big stick around, and they're also not there to just dangle a carrot. It's a bit of an approach of both. You need to dangle the carrot, have the stick. And you need to have somebody who's not just going to be all yes, they've got to be able to challenge you and drive you to do that. That's largely what we do as coaches and advisors, is we help business owners actually be accountable to somebody, being us, and we help them along the way develop those skills to be able to do more within their business. So those three things combine together to deal with the overwhelm in your business. overwhelm causes a lot of problems. Causes a lack of sleep, keeps you up at night, causes relationship problems in your life because you're not sleeping, because you're stressed. It causes people to miss out on important events, whether they be family events or whether they just be social events. The large mental health problem of business owners, a big factor in that is the overwhelm and that feeling that you just can't get it all done and it's helpless. And if you're in that position, then you really need to talk to people and put your hand up, because everybody gets overwhelmed in business. You're not alone, so do something about it. And the way that we do something about it is we attack those 3 areas. So if you're sitting there as a business owner, feeling a little bit overwhelmed, feeling a little bit helpless, that you just, no matter what you do, things don't change and you don't make any progress, then feel free to get in touch with me. Either comment below or contact me through our socials or email, and all of those details are there, and we can sit down together, do a free discovery meeting, find out what you're actually struggling with at the moment, and start to talk about how we can attack overwhelm in your business. Talk soon.